What's up everyone, my name is Nathaniel, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the AirPod Pros and comparing them with counterfeits that are available from China right now. First thing we can get into is the quality of the image. The image on the counterfeit part is grainy, it's kind of blurry, whereas the image on the original looks really good. It's really crisp, clear. We can move over to the ink that was used on the Apple logo. The counterfeit part has a shine to it, and then it's a little bit of an embossment that was probably picked up during printing. And that carries over to the AirPod Pro text right here with wireless charging and whatnot. You can feel it on the counterfeit part, but you can't feel the printing on the packaging for the original. If you look at the back, the image is washed out, it's a little grainy. The same can be said about the text. It's darker on the counterfeit, whereas the original is very fine, looks good. The text for the address is also a little lighter compared to the original packaging. Let's go ahead and open these up. Look at the packaging. The counterfeit comes with the same inserts that the original comes with, but there are some key differences. On the original, the measurements used are metric and imperial, whereas the fake is just metric. Also know the differences in the languages. The counterfeit unit that I received, they didn't include any extra earbud tips. I have no idea why that is. The cable was just haphazardly tossed in there. It literally came just like that. Whereas the AirPod Pro, the original AirPod Pro, comes with the lightning cable nicely packaged, extra earbud tips. Then we can move over to the cases here. Looking at the cases, the counterfeit part has a little bit of a darker tone to the white, where the white on the original is a little more brilliant. You're also going to see that both units have the reset button in the back. One giveaway is going to be the lid hinge is actually cast into the plastic, whereas the lid hinge on the original AirPod Pro is machined separately out of a piece of aluminum. And this is going to give you that nice feel of the lid, whereas the lid on this one, I mean, it closes really easily. It won't even stay open if you hold it straight up. Another thing to look at is the lightning port. The counterfeit is a shiny plastic piece, whereas the lightning port AirPod Pro is a separate machined piece of aluminum. One thing that I want to point out is the LED on the counterfeit case is one color, it's just orange or red, whereas the LED on the original is green, orange, and white. Another thing that's going to be obvious, there's text displaying the model number, FCC certification on the original, whereas the counterfeit is blank. Another thing we'll go ahead and do is weigh these. The counterfeit should come in around 38 or 39 grams, whereas the original will come in at 45. One of the things you're going to notice when you're comparing side by side is the different microphone ports, and the proximity sensor is actually just painted on, whereas the microphone port and proximity sensor here, there's a lens for the proximity sensor and a mesh grill for the microphone port. Another thing, the microphone for the counterfeit part is on the bottom of the AirPod, whereas the microphone for this one is actually on the earpiece here. Another giveaway is going to be the shape of the earbud tip. The earbud tip on the counterfeit is circular, kind of your standard earbud type, whereas the earbud tip on the AirPod Pro, the original, has an oval shape to it. We can pull these off. And another dead giveaway is going to be the shape of the speaker port. It's very standard, very generic, whereas the AirPod Pro has this oval shape to it. Let's go ahead and throw the AirPods on the scale. The counterfeit should be 3 grams, whereas the original should come in at 5. One thing that's going to be hard to determine is they both use the H1 chip. So when you open these, it's going to appear like the original AirPod Pros. But when you connect, I'll show you. Right here, where it says AirPod Pro, you should be able to change that text. Now, if you compare this with the original, let's go ahead and connect. It's going to go through the same pairing process as you just saw with the counterfeits. However, you're going to notice that it names the original AirPods, and you'll be able to change that name in settings. And you're also going to have all your settings for your noise cancellation, transparency, etc. Counterfeit will not allow you to have any of the settings because it doesn't have any of these features.
Alright guys, that's it for today. If you liked this video and you found some value in it, go ahead and hit that like button. And for other videos, content like this, go ahead and give me a subscribe. I'll see you next time.